Okay, so I have the arithmetic formula, I have the arithmetic series. This is for geometric. What's the R value called? Common ratio. That's what I multiply by. Got it. And then down below, that's the geometric series. And what's series mean again? Add up the terms, right? Add up a total amount of the terms, a certain amount of the terms. Geometric series. All right, that's what you're coming with tomorrow. I know for the first unit, I just let you guys go and review, but I don't feel comfortable doing that today. All right, especially coming off a 3-day weekend. All right, well, here's what I did, just to let you know what I'm about to do with you. There's review questions in the back of your packet. There's actually 25 of them. Wow, 25 that you can review. What I did was I just went through and I said, give me an arithmetic series, give me a geometric series, and some recursive stuff. All right, so I picked, I think, about 6 problems to do with you guys, and then the rest of the time you can go on your own. Anything you want to ask or comment about? Anything? Okay, we are going to start this fun off with number 3. Okay, let's start the fun with number 3. Three, 12, 48, 192. Everybody stop. Identify the sequence you're dealing with. This is geometric, yep. That's the first battle. Write an explicit formula. Explicit formula is another way of saying rule for the nth term. That's just a fancy way of saying, can you guys please write me a rule for the nth term? Go to your formula sheet if you don't know it off the top of your head, and I don't blame you if you don't. Geometric sequence, everybody. Geometric sequence. Everyone locate that formula. I'm not really going to ask you guys for answers today because I just want to roll through this. A1 times R raised to the n minus 1, right off the formula sheet. Let's see if you guys can do it here, because 5th period took about 5 problems to pick it up. When you write an explicit formula or rule for the nth term, what do you plug in for n? N stays n. All right. Oh, hey, what can be plugged in for the first term? 3. What's your R value here? 4. And if you are uncertain tomorrow, what's the trick? Take any term and divide it by the previous. We're good. Nice. What do I plug in for n? Can't get you. Good. How about 3 times 4? 3 times 4. Anybody want to get embarrassed? Nope, me neither. That's it. As far as you can go. Find the 14th term now. And you're better than writing them all out. Look at the work you just did. What can you do with this formula to find the 14th term? Plug in 14 for n. Yep, so the 14th term will be 3 times 4 raised to the 14 minus 1. And there it is. I can hear the calculator slides. Here it is. Calculator covers rolling along. That is a large number. Yeah, I am multiplying by 4 every time. 201 mil. 326,592. How about this unseasonable weather we're having? Good talk. It's annoying. It's got something in common with you guys then. Oh, boy. He's got a ton. Next up, 4. Everyone enjoy their long weekend? Good to hear. It was delightful. Yep. Let's see. Yesterday, I had practice in the morning and then took my girls to Huck Finn's Playland. because it was the last day it was open. So went on some rides, went on the Ferris wheel together. A little family bonding. Yep, it was fun. No, I did not. There was no apple picking in the Carlino family this weekend. I think we're good. I think we're good for the fall. All right, write a rule for the nth term. Oh, nth term, explicit formula for now and arithmetic sequence. Go to your formula sheet. What are you going to plug in for n? Nice, n. Oh, what problem do we run into here, kiddos? I give you the fifth, but not the first. But can you use these two pieces of information to get to the first? What are you doing every time to go forward? You're adding 2, right? So to go backwards, probably want to... Okay, there you go. So fourth term would have been 22. We can keep going pretty quickly now. 20, 18, 16. What's that? 4, 3, 2, ding, ding, 16. Everyone all right on how we got 16 going backwards, subtracting 2. And then n stays n. And the d value is given as 2. I would 100% accept that tomorrow. You just want to make sure you're careful because if it is multiple choice, you probably are going to have to clean that up and distribute the d value. So plus 2n minus 2. So you may want also just be aware that 2n plus 14 is also acceptable. Ten. Word problem. Ooh. How many times do you guys regret that she bailed on you? Because I get to sit here now and make everyone feel awkward. Okay, we got a theater. 20 seats in the first row, 3 more every other row. 35 total rows. How many total seats? You guys know my advice. Write down a couple terms. Can you produce at least the first 3 terms of this sequence? What's the first term? 20 in the first row. Next one's going to have 23, 26. What type of sequence? Okay. So there's 2 formulas I'm going to decide by. Read the end of the problem. Am I finding how many are in the 35th row? No. What am I finding? Total. So I need my sum formula for arithmetic series. That's the one we got to remember going into tomorrow. And that's, come on. And that's equal to n times a1 plus an all over 2. All right. You got to fill it in for me. What's my n value? That's the total amount I'm adding up. 35. Yep. There's 35 rows. So find the sum of the first 35. So n is 35. First row, 20. I can't stress this enough. This is not 35. They don't all match. What am I really looking for if I put a 35 here? 35th term. How many seats are in the 35th row? I have no idea. And I'm not about to list them all out. Is there anything else you have available for an arithmetic sequence that finds any term? Yeah, buddy. Here we go. You got A1 plus n minus 1 times D available. Yes, your n value is still 35. Your first term is still 20. 35 minus 1. What are you guys plugging in for D? 3. Here we go. So find how many seats are in that 35th row. How many? 122. Yep. So plug that back in over here. And divide by 2. Total number of seats in the theater, 2,485. Pretty big theater. All good? So we've done arithmetic, geometric. Now we got to talk about these recursive sequences. Number 12. 12, everybody. Okay, this is what we did on the first day of the unit. Recursive sequences come in two parts. Two parts. I will always give you the first term. Okay, you have to give me the first term if it's going to be recursive. And then I have to give you a rule using previous term. So you should see two parts to every recursive sequence. The first term and then the rule using the previous term. And that's what I gave you here. First term of this sequence is 6, and it says find the first 5 terms. All right, everyone ready to find the second one with me? I'll let everybody catch up because this is pretty important and usually gets very complicated. Okay, here's the rule. Here's this rule using the previous term. So to find any term, take the previous term, which if I'm on the second one, what was my previous term? 6, the first term. Yep, so 6 plus, here's where we get confused with the n. Notice any other single n in the rule here? See it? All right. What did I just plug in for that subscript here? 2. So 6 plus 2. All right. These are the single n's that always have to be the same number. 2 and 2. 8. Okay, we needed 5, though. Little help on the third one? Previous plus 3. Fourth, 11 plus 4. And then take it home. All right, I did this one in particular because I know tomorrow I also threw just a plain n in there on you, so be careful. All good? Okay, I got 2 more with you. 2 more, word problem and something else. So go to 17, we're going to plant some bulbs. I'll let you read through this one. See if you can write a couple terms of the sequence. Okay, got a couple terms? 20, 23, and 26. What type of sequence, everybody? Arithmetic, perfect. Explicit formulas, just like writing the rule for the nth term. So go to your formula sheet. Look for arithmetic. What am I plugging in for n? N. First term. Plus n minus d value. Okay. So you could leave it like that if you wanted to. If you want to clean it up and distribute, go ahead. Your call. Ooh, write a recursive formula. Good thing we just went over that. 2 parts you should be giving me. 2 parts. First one's the easiest one. What should you be telling me? First term. So A1 equals 20. Got to tell me the first term. Now this might be the toughest part for you. How to find any term How do I write the previous term? A n minus 1, okay. Describe to me, what are you doing to the previous term to get to the next one? Add 3, so that's all you have to do. But don't put plus 3 down here with the subscript. Make it obvious. I'm taking the previous term and adding 3. That's it. 2 parts. First term, and rule. How many bulbs does she plan on the 15th? Without listing all the numbers out. What can you do with your answer in part A? Plug in 15. Yep. Take your answer from part A and plug in 15. $62. And then what am I asking for in part D? Total number. So new formula, the one you got to remember for total. S sub n equals n times A1. Okay, can you guys help me here? What's my n value? Remember, that's always the number of terms you're adding up. First to the 15th, that's a total of 15. Sum of the first 15. First day. Not 15, though. This was on the 15th day. I don't need to calculate that because I just did. 62. All over 2. So we're looking at 615 bulbs. Everyone all right? Anything here before we end it? I just want to go over how to find the numbers in between on a certain sequence. All right, last one then. 19. Find the numbers in between. Okay, first one's arithmetic. How do you find that number I add every time? There's 2 different ways I've shown you. I could take the difference, right? So the difference between 19.7 and 8.5 is what? What is it? 11.2. All right, that's not what I'm adding though. How many times am I going to add this certain number? Ready? Once, 2, 3, and I'm going to go 4 times. Everyone see that? I'm going to add the same number 4 times, and it's got to add up to 11.2. So that number I'm adding, 2.8. All right, there you go. So now go ahead and add 2.8 every time, and you should end up with 19.7 for the 5th term. So I got 11.3 as the 2nd term. Got 14.1 as the 3rd term, and then looking at 16.9 for that 4th term. What about geometric, though? How do I find the number I multiply by? What's that number? What's that term called, by the way? The number I multiply by? My common ratio. What letter is it? Do you got a formula involving geometric that involves R? Yeah, I do too. It's on my formula sheet. It says AN equals A1 R to the n minus 1. So if you can get R by itself, we're on our way. Any term in the sequence that's not the first one. Do you know any other term in the sequence that's not the first one that I can plug in here? 1.25 is equal to the first term, 320. R I'm trying to solve for. What's the n value here? What term is 125? 5? Everyone see where those numbers came from? No? Okay. First step then? First step to get r by itself? Divide by, or not subtract, 5 minus 1, you can do that, yep. Divide by 320. Go ahead, leave your answer as a fraction. Divide by 320. You don't need my help here. You're better. You're better than this. I'm going to leave it as a fraction. 1 over 256 equals r to the 4th. Take the 4th root. I showed you guys, or you showed me how to do that using your math button. And we're multiplying by a quarter. All right, multiply by a quarter, find those next 3. 80, 20, and 5. Using the sigma button on your calculator, alpha window, right? How many variables can it have to use your calculator? It can only have how many variables? Just one variable, remember. All right, so if you guys are just taking a look down below at number 21, how many variables are in number 21? 2, so you can't use your calculator. You got to plug it in on your own and do it by hand. All right, you're on your own. I appreciate it, though, if you'd have a Chromebook or a phone in front of you with the answer key on Aspen, all right, under homework answers for the unit. Okay, have an answer key up. You can move around. I trust you guys working with other people, but just make sure whoever you're working with has an answer key in front of them. Call me. I'm not going to hover. I don't feel like being a hoverer here. So just call me over. I'll be in the back with those 2 young gentlemen in the back corner there. So if you got a question, raise your hand, call me over, whatever you need to do. Or not.